Alright, so I'm going to show you here a quick um, demonstration, hopefully, about an Adobe Air application actually made by Adobe, and it's called Muse. It's a fairly simple but powerful application for designing websites graphically. It's created in mind for the Photoshop user who lays out a website but may not have experience with HTML, CSS, and all that, so they can actually lay out a website like they would in InDesign or in Photoshop and get it up and running pretty quickly. Probably be utilized for some simple click-through wireframes and stuff like that. Is where I can really see a benefit for the average web designer. So it's pretty simple. The first thing you do is just go to muse.adobe.com, and that'll pull up the information page that Adobe has on the product. And right now it's a free application in the beta stage. I think it's in beta 4. Beginning in January, it's going to be a paid app. But the cool thing is that it will be subscription based. So for $10 or $15 a month, and they have different packages, you can use this application when you need it, as opposed to spending $500 to download it. You may use it a bunch, you may not. So it might be one of those programs where you just might want to use it for a month and then not, and then get your subscription back again. But it's pretty simple. Just click the Get Muse button right there, and it's going to download and open an Air file to begin your installation. So we're going to go ahead and download it, even though I've got it downloaded, but installs it pretty quickly, and save it to where we want to save it to, and hit open. So it's only a 25 megabyte download, and we can install it in our applications. Hit continue, and it installs it real quick and launches it. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. The first time it launches, it takes a minute. It's got to kind of set up some defaults and stuff. But typically after the first launch, it only takes a few seconds to launch it. So you kind of get a familiar view that you get with most Adobe products. It's your little intro screen that kind of gives you updates on what you can learn. It's telling me that there's a beta 3 available, and then it just kind of gives you the create new or open existing. So we're going to just go ahead and start creating a site real quick. It gives some pretty good defaults: 960, heights, center horizontally, some margins, columns and guttering, padding. So we're going to go ahead, I don't like this gutter, so let's change that to 0 and hit OK. So it starts with a graphical view of your site map. This is the pages you have, how they're related to each other. It's really good to help you keep up with the pages. It also utilizes master pages, which you can see the initial master page down here. So if you have a header and a footer, global navigation, things like that, 3-pane layout, you can establish that with a master page here. And then when you create new pages up here, you tell it that it's using that master page, and it will remember that. So if you want to change your header, change the way your navigation looks, change your footer, you can do that on the master page, and it'll apply to all the pages that inherit that. So just to kind of show you what we can do, we can create a separate master. We'll just let it call it master B. We've got this master here. Well, let's say this is our home page, and we're doing an e-commerce site, and we want to do a products page. Well, we can make that our B master, or we can rename it and call it products master. And we'll call this one top master. That'll be our top level pages like about us, quality, things like that, contact page. So we'll utilize that for all our top levels, and then we'll use that for our products. So this is going to be considered top level. Let's go ahead and create a about us page, and we'll create a contact page, and they're all utilizing top master. So under home, we want to create a products page, and we want to change the master. Masters, products master. There. So now this one will inherit the products master. So let's just say we kind of have an idea of how it's going to lay out. That's all we know right now. So let's go work on our top level master page. Alright, we've decided we want to use this blue color, and we're going to go ahead and throw some text in here for the title, and we're just going to call it My Page. So you can click and drag and then type in My Page. We'll select that and we'll make our font size a little bit bigger, and let's do a gray color, see how that looks. Maybe white. Oops. That'd be the background of that section. There's text, and we're going to change that color to, we already know our hex color we want. We're going to do D7. That looks pretty good. That's good contrast. So we've got that, and we've got some things over here we can throw in. Slideshows, basic lightbox, some panels. So we could have a left accordion panel. Let's go ahead and just do a bar menu, and we will drag that, and we're going to put that up in here. All right. And snapping is another cool feature it's got. So the cool thing is it automatically knows that the navigation is going to be at this level. So all these pages at the same level as this that we see out here on our plan, it's going to go ahead and include those in our navigation. And you can tweak that a little bit if you want to. But so Top Master's got that. So any page that inherits Top Master will get those elements from Top Master. It's also pretty cool because if you look, Home is on the active page state. On About Us, it's on the active page state, and Contact Us as well. So if we have Products Master and we want to have a little bit different fill, we're going to do a gray background, and we're going to do a text field. And this one we're actually going to call My Products. There we go. So we got My Products. And then we can throw in a different type of menu. Let's get that out of the way. And we're going to throw in a vertical menu. And you can manually do it. You can do all pages, top level pages. And then, okay, we got that done. So now it shows products comes off of Home. So you can hover over Home and it'll show products. So it'll actually include some basic jQuery stuff. Same thing for like your slideshow. So we can have our lightbox. Let's throw that lightbox in there. And then you can pick different layouts. So you can do the transition. You can go ahead and add images through here. You can tell it to autoplay. You can tell it how to fit things, thumbnails. You can have previous and next or first last. So there's a lot of stuff you can do to tweak it. So we've got that. We're going to save that on our desktop. So now, anytime someone creates a new page based off of products, master, it'll already inherit that stuff. So once you've got it all designed, you can preview it and see what it's going to look like. That's nice. So it actually shows you an interactive preview. And then you can publish it. you can go ahead, if you have a Business Catalyst account, you can use your username and password and let Adobe host it for you. And for a nominal fee, they'll do the hosting, and that can be included in your subscription fee. You can also, if you don't want them to host it and you want to host it yourself, you can actually export it as HTML. So you can export everything, including unchanged content, so you can just override everything. Or you can actually check that, or leave it unchecked, and it'll only export the things that have changed, which might be a little quicker. You can choose the folder you want it to and just hit export. So it's got some work. There's some more things that need to be done, I think, to give you hints within the application on how certain things work. The navigation that we were looking at on the products page, for example, I want this navigation to be at this level. So that's where I might want to have a little bit more options. Instead of just top pages, manual, or all pages, I would like for it to actually be able to choose this level of pages. So pages at current level to this page or something like that. Little things here and there, which I'm sure Adobe's going to release stuff on a fairly regular basis, as lightweight as this application is. I think that it'll probably get a little bit bigger here and there, and as people use it and want certain features, Adobe will probably be pretty good to respond to that and make some improvements. So overall, I think it's a good first step, especially for a beta, and I see this actually being a pretty good asset for the web developer out there. Just even if you do know HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, I think you could really get some quick demos done with this, just to see if someone likes a style of navigation or a layout of a page. Some click-through wireframes would be real powerful with this, and get that stuff up and running real fast. So you can see in just a few minutes that we had that we actually created a quick and dirty site and can export it or let them host it for us. And I think it's going to be a pretty good product once it gets released and some users out there helping contribute to improvements.